Peace and blessings, everyone. I just watched a video that's posted by Scinetter7 entitled Tahuti vs. Islam, The Gods at War. There's a part 1 and a part 2 presently up. I don't know if there'll be another part 3 or anything. But what it is dealing with the recent debate, as they called it, that's held there in New York between Tahuti Black and this is Dr. Wesley Muhammad. I think he goes by True Islam also. So the video is dealing with what took place after the debate was over. You know, they're out in the common area, and you know, people are standing about, you know, discussing what went on and discussing who they thought won, who they thought, you know, brought the most facts, and you know, this and that. But the thing is, as I watched it, you know, I still grasp to understand what is supposed to be the end result. What is supposed to come out of these debates. Beyond just one person proving the other one wrong, or one person proving themselves truth, speaking the truth, or what they're bringing forth as a truth, and thus the other one is either wrong or can be questioned. What is the purpose beyond that? Because I don't know how that is supposed to ease or remedy the current problems and issues and concerns that exist within the population of people here with the United States, whom are known as African Americans. They can debate, you know, if Islam was what are they trying to decide, a Middle Eastern Arab religion or a white religion or whatever, or and I'm not sure what is Tahuti Black stance. I don't know, but anyway, they can argue this all day, but I don't know what that is going to do for us right now. What is the purpose of the debate of where we came from, when we know where we are at? We know the truth of where we are at right now. So why the great debate as to where we came from before? You know, it's been said that, you know, all these different factions of people who say that we come from different lineage, different backgrounds, that they are in essence all right. You know, the blacks come from all the different historical backgrounds. We are, you know, from Kemet, we are Kemites, we are Hebrew Israelites, Moors. We're all that, because we're all that at one time. And basically they're just different tribes. And that just like we had those tribes there that were in close proximity to each other in Africa when we were taken away and brought over here on the slave ships. When we were on the slave ships, there was no argument or debate of where we came from or who we are, because that was not the pressing issue at hand. At that point in time, the truth was we were in the same position. We were subjected to the same tortures, the same injustice, headed to the same destination to be treated the same. And just as we were possibly of different backgrounds, different factions, different nationalities, different religions on that ship, we are the same right now. On this ship, or as the nation of gods and earth like to say, in this wilderness of North America, we are here together, subjected to the same treatments, the same injustices, the same problems. It just appears to me, and it could just be my ignorance, that I don't see excuse me, for the reason what the true benefit is, but it just seems to me that they are all focused on the wrong issue, because I don't know how it's going to matter what it is they're debating about, what all these brothers are on here on YouTube debating about, what Sarah Sudi is getting into it about. I don't know how at the end of the day that is going to do anything to change the fact of the truth of the stats of this group of people here with the United States known as African Americans. How's it going to change the stats of things such as reports from 2007, the National Council on Crime Delinquency. African American youth constitute 16% of population, but experience 28% of juvenile arrests and constitute 37% of the detained population and 58% of youth committed to state adult prisons. How is me being from Kemet, how is me being a Hebrew Israelite, how's it going to change that? How is it going to change that as stated by Issue Brief Economic Policy Institute, July 21st, 2009, that African Americans consistently have historically had and continue to have the highest unemployment rate? What is it going to matter if I'm a Moor? How is it going to help me to solve the issue of, according to the U.S. Department of Justice, Office of Justice Programs, Bureau of Statistics, in 2005, homicide victimization rates for blacks were 6 times higher than the rate for whites. In 2005, offending rates for blacks were more than 7 times higher than the rates for whites. From 1976 to 2005, 94% of black victims were killed by blacks. 86% was white on white. Prison statistics. Summary findings. 2,310,984 prisoners in federal, state, and local jails. At mid-year 2008, there were 4,777 black male inmates per 100,000 blacks, 1,760 Hispanic male inmates per 100,000 Hispanic, and 727 white male inmates per 100,000 white males. How is the current debates going to change that, going to help that? How is it going to matter if Islam was of Middle Eastern descent, white, whatever argument it is over that? How's it going to change that criminal offender statistics? Lifetime chance of a person going to prison are higher for blacks, which is 18.6%, and Hispanics 10%, than for whites, 3.4%. An estimated 32% of black males will enter state or federal prison during lifetime. For Hispanics, it's only 17%, and for whites, it's 5.9%. How is your so-called debates or arguments going to change or help this? Are you focusing on the correct things? And here's something specifically for New York, for you New Yorkers, my brothers in the debate. And don't get me wrong, I love seeing that, all y'all get together, seeing all my, my powerful brothers there. But once again, that power seems to be focused on the wrong area. From 1997-98, New York spent $8,000 per third grader. Whereas in a typical white suburb around New York, $12,000 was spent. In the wealthiest suburbs, $18,000 were spent. According to Still Separate, Still Unequal, America's Education Apartheid, Harper's Magazine, Volume 311, 1st September 2005. How's it going to change this? According to Urban Institute research of record, racial and ethnic disparity among low-income families. Dated 8709, and I quote, because of the differences in family structure across groups, black families have the lowest median income, $12,500, while Hispanics have the highest, $18,700. Low-income black families are more likely to be poor, meaning below the federal poverty line, than other families. For blacks, 53% are poor. Hispanics, 44%. Whites, 39%. Other races, 42%. This means that there is a much larger income gap between black families, current income, and the self-sufficiency level. Further, more than a quarter of low-income black families have incomes below 50% of the poverty level and live in deep poverty, compared with 16 to 17% white and Hispanic low-income families. Brothers, how is your debate going to solve that issue? Do I need to give you more? Do I need to give you more of how no matter who you say we are, the government here in the United States gives us our name or who we are. They tell us who we are, what group we belong to. They treat this group the same. This group incurs the same problems. This group known as African Americans. So debate our names all day. Debate where we came from all day. But when is the focus going to be on where we are today and who we are today? Should I give you more? How about some health? Black American men's health on About.com, November 9, 2006. Black men live 7.1 years less than other racial groups. 40% of black men die prematurely from cardiovascular disease compared to 21% of whites. 5 times more likely to die of HIV or AIDS, and have a higher suicide rate. It is third leading cause of death in 15 to 24-year-olds. So these are our children and our young men who are just setting out on understanding what it is to be a man, a black male, surviving in this wilderness. How's your debate going to change this? How about the American Association of Suicidology, African American Suicide Fact Sheet, 2006. As with all racial groups, African American females were more likely than males to attempt suicide, and African American males were more likely to complete suicide. For African American youth, the rate of male suicide, which is at 4.34 per 100,000, was 5.1 times higher than that of females, 0.85 per 100,000. Males accounted for 90.5% of African American elderly, which is 65 years old and older, suicides. In 2006, 1,954 African Americans completed suicide, 85% male, 15% female. Does it need to be an argument about this? Can this be debated? Should you be debating this? Would you debate this? No. But are you speaking on it? No. What is the more pressing and important issue, my brothers? God's. How about this? This is from allacademic.com, All Academic Research, Understanding Racial Disparities in Final Placement. Why do African American children stay in foster care? 32% of children in foster care in 2005 were African American. Research indicates that African American children remain in foster care longer and receive fewer services while in care than white children. 36% of children awaiting adoption in U.S. foster care system are African American. African American children, especially boys, are less likely to achieve permanency, meaning permanent family living arrangement, after being placed into foster care. By one estimate, African American children are 1/5 as likely as Caucasian children to be adopted. Despite the greater placement rates for infants, examining foster care in Washington State in 1995 found that African American infants that were declared free for adoption were not as easily placed as whites. What about that, my brothers? What about that? Or how about, according to self-report data from U.S. Department of Health and Human Services, African Americans constituted 14% of drug users in 2006, only slightly higher than their percentage in the general population. Yet African Americans represent 35% of those arrested in 2006 for drug offenses, 53% of drug convictions, and 45% of drug offenders in prison in 2004, which was the most recent year for which prison data is available. My brothers, please help me understand. Please help me overstand. Because as I saw my brothers, congregating in this hallway, and what came to mind for me is, everything in its own place and time. After we come together as a nation. After we have our own nation, our own sovereign nation, then after that point, we can debate such things if we so choose. But I think that after that point, after having our own nation, our own sovereign nation, land, economy, that the need for the debate wouldn't be there. For if someone wanted to say they was a Moor, they could just live their life as a Moor. A Hebrew Israelite, they could just live their life as a Hebrew Israelite. Thus, we get each one, we can have our own little cultures within our nation. Where it is you think you come from or know you come from in a certain part of Africa, whatever is part of the culture there, you could fulfill it in our own nation. And I would see it, and I would see instead of debate, a coming together of scholars to just speak on the truth of what's out there, of what could be out there, or what is available to us. And if you just want to argue and debate, then so be it. But it would be after that which is most important is taken care of. After we are in the position to take care of our own, which has been defined as, grouped as African Americans. And you can't debate that. God bless everyone. Peace and love.